All right, hey guys, it's me, Tenzin. I'm just back. I wanted to do a recap of the Pretty Little Liars premiere. I did a blog post about it already, but I just want to come here and do a video just for like a little bit more interaction. I am a huge Pretty Little Liars fan. I've been watching the show since it came out. I guess about a year or two ago. And just a warning, if you haven't seen it, you might not want to watch the rest of the video because it is going to contain spoilers. I won't go into as much detail as I went in on my blog because I just really want to start a dialogue with you all, so you can kind of tell me your thoughts on the premiere and kind of your thoughts on the upcoming season. So basically, again, if you haven't seen it and you want to watch it and you are a fan, you might want to click off of the video and then come back after you've seen it because, like I said, I don't want to give away things that, people who haven't seen it might not have, seen and had time to process and come to their own conclusions about. So basically the show opens up, season 3 left off basically with the girls standing over the trunk of Wilden's car, who was the cop who was always on their case. Basically his patrol car had been pulled out of a lake or some type of swampy water or whatever, and it's now sitting in the street. The lights are on, but there's not a siren or anything. The lights are on, and on the inside of the car you can see a video playing of the night that Hannah's mom and him had the interaction, where I believe the mom ran over him or something like that. Well, he didn't die from that, because of course you learn during the episode that he'd been murdered. You don't know why. You don't know who did it. And they might have said in what. They might have said how, but I really don't remember if they said exactly how. But anyway, basically the girls find out that he died. Well, before all that happens, in the first 10-15 minutes, you see the girl standing over the trunk. They open the trunk and gasp, it's a pig in the trunk. Not a body, not anything that is incriminating to them, but a pig. So yeah, it's fitting with the whole cop, thing, cop, pig or whatever. But I didn't really catch the significance outside of relating him being a cop to a pig, and people call cops pigs. So, anyway, they kind of move on from that. And basically the series touches on each and every one of the characters and their relationships with each other, kind of picking up where we left off. So there's a relationship between Mona and the girls. And you see Mona is there with the girls when they open the trunk, because Mona's now become part of A is basically out to get Mona now as well. So, which is really interesting because it seemed for the longest that Mona either was A or working with A. And I have my suspicions about her as well as the other girls too. So, it goes through, Hannah and Mona's relationship. It goes through Spencer and Toby's. We see him reappear. And I guess they're now kind of back together because she did confront him at the end of the last season about why he left and all this, that, and the other. And basically he'd been set up by Mona to get a job out of town or whatever. Of course, I have my suspicions about Toby too, because it seems like he plays double agent at times too, just like Mona does. So it also goes through, touches on Arya and Ezra's relationship. And basically they ended the relationship in the last season. And now in this episode, it shows them basically trying to move on from that. And you come to find out that he's been offered a job. Now, if you don't know from last season, it came to, he basically found out that he had a kid from an old ex-girlfriend that he dated like either throughout, I think it was in high school or maybe like at the end of high school, beginning of college. Somehow his mom like paid the girl off to go away or not tell him or even like give the child for adoption or something like that. Anyway, the girl ended up keeping the child. And somehow, like, during the last season, through a course of events, Arya finds out that, he has a girlfriend. Or I'm sorry, Arya finds out he has a child from this, like, really old relationship. Like, I think the kid's at least, like, 7 or 5. Like, the kid's older than 5, but younger than, like, 10. So it's like a school-age child. And so basically, Arya really can't handle that at this point. She's like, first of all, she's in high school and she's dating her teacher. She's dating a grown man pretty much. And now she just found out that he has a kid that he didn't know about. So, of course, Ezra, being the good guy he is, he wants to be a part of the child's life, take care of it, so on and so forth. And at first, him and Arya tried to make it work, but it just really didn't work out for them. Plus, with the whole A situation going on, I think Arya feared that she would put the child in danger, or that the child would be used as leverage, like for A to use the child as leverage. So she broke off things with Ezra, and we see them at pretty much the beginning of this episode having kind of their first interaction since they've broken up. And basically he tells her like, he's been offered a job at the school, this, that, and the other. And then also that, if she wants to see other people, then they can, because that's the best way to get over someone. Yada, yada, yada. So that's that for them. We touch on Spencer and Toby, Hannah and Mona. Basically, before the girls, or when the girls see the pig in the car, Mona gets back in the car and tries to like get, I guess, the memory card or, whatever from his computer in his patrol car. And she gets it and she's like holding on to it. So Hannah wants it because it has her mom on it. So Hannah is basically fronting to be Mona's best friend again, because Mona's like longing for, the friendship that her and Hannah used to have. So anyway, they kind of hang out or whatever, but then Mona's like, well, I know you're only really being my friend, or acting like my friend to get the disc or to get the memory stick or card or whatever. So she ends up getting it, and then like that's kind of it for them. There is a really eerie part where the girls are at like this trailer park, and they hear these little girls outside playing, and they go outside and it's these little girls playing around the thing at the playground that like spins around. You can like run and jump on it, but like spins around. They see these little girls that are pretty much in the likeness of them, playing with dolls that are in the likeness of them. And they're saying that, okay, who gave you these dolls? And they're like, oh, your friend Allie. So that was really, really weird. And then what else happens? So Spencer, her usual like very suspect self, is actually shown being relatively happy in this episode, which is very surprising because that's where she cried in every episode in the last season. Like I said, it touched on her and Toby a little bit, but not a whole lot. At the end of the episode, it basically shows, because they go to Wilden's funeral, and they basically shows them trying to retrieve whatever evidence they thought that A had put in Wilden's casket to incriminate them. Well, they end up walking to the church, they split up. Spencer finds the casket, and out of the shadows of the room is Mona. And Mona's like, oh, I guess we got the same message, yada, yada, yada. And then they open up the casket, and because there's a cell phone ringing, they answer the cell phone, and it's Hannah. And Hannah's like, what are you doing calling my mom's phone? And that's pretty much it for like the episode, and then it for that like particular situation. So in the next episode, I guess we're going to figure out, it's going to go off of that and probably, touch on some other things. almost forgot. So Paige and Emily, I touched on them a little bit, but basically, like, Paige is trying to, like, go to Stanford College or whatever to swim, and she wants for Emily to go with her. I think she said something like, she'll go, and they hug and kiss and so on and so forth. So that's pretty much like a recap of everything that happened with the girls. Now, my take on things is that everyone in the show seems extremely suspect. I thought for the longest that Spencer has been so suspect in a lot of this whole situation. Mona for sure is very suspect. And then, all right, sorry guys, I got cut off, but I totally lost my train of thought. So I think the last thing I was talking about was basically the fact that the girls were at the funeral. They answered the phone. It ends up being Hannah's mother's phone, and then that's kind of where the episode ends. Well, of course, Pretty Little Liars always does that thing where they show, like, A doing something at the very end. Well, while the girls were at the funeral, they saw this woman who had a black veil on. They didn't know who she was or, why she was there, but there was a woman with a black veil who was at the funeral. Well, then we see this same person go into this room or whatever. That's like a shrine to Allie. Has these dolls that look like the girls, that look like the same dolls that the little girls had from the playground. So we see that. Then we see that the person lifts up the veil and reveals a mask. The person turns to, I guess, what would be the right, and you can see the half of the mask is like broken or damaged or whatever, and the episode cuts off. So again, we still don't know who A is, and because this person with the veil, all the girls were there at the church or wherever they were having the funeral, including Mona, and including, oh gosh, I can't remember her name right now. The girl who was blind, but then her eyesight got restored. She was there as well. So the lady in the black veil is not either one of them. And it's definitely not one of the girls, because all the girls were at the church for the funeral. So that leaves a lot out there. But I think what I was actually saying before was that everyone on the whole show, all the girls, have had these very suspect there's very suspect ways about themselves that you're just like, maybe they're A, maybe that person's A, maybe that has something to do with it. Because I've had my suspicions about Toby, of course, Mona, Spencer, for the longest. And it just takes you in so many different directions. So I am definitely, because it could be really anyone at this point, I'm a little bit at a loss for who it could be. So I'm really interested to see like where this season takes us, the drama that's going to unfold. And, I'm just really happy that something decent is on during the summertime, because all that's really on is like talent reality shows, silly reality shows, and like, although I do love So You Think You Can Dance, still, there's nothing on in the summertime. Then you just wait all summer for the fall for everything to come back on. And it's fall, and it's school, and work, and vacation, and the summer heat, and the loveliness is over again. Plus, I don't anticipate the fall me having a whole lot of time to actually watch TV, because I have a new baby to take care of. But anyway, I say that now, and I'm still going to find a way somehow. But anyway, I don't know if that was a little scattered and all over the place, but let me know what you guys think. And check out my blog, because I have a whole post going into detail about last night's episode and like basically the recap of it. So tell me what you think. Go to my blog, newmamadiaries.blogspot.com, and I actually link it in the bottom bar so that you all can just click straight to the post. And basically, let me know what you guys think. If you want more of these kind of videos or recap things, I'll probably still do them anyway. But let me know. And until next time, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.